Sarcasm is beneath us both, my dear Warden.
Now, where was I? Oh yes, spoilers, duh. Bless Amnesia, because after 14 years of life, I can dive into this game like it's my first time. And boy do 720p pre-recorded cutscenes make you feel old. Before you can begin your Pineapple Hat Magi adventures, you'll need to patch things up, otherwise you'd end up with blacksmiths looking like this. And people experiencing what I call clothing superposition phenomenon. Many years later, it does feel like
pigeon crap.
I mean, home. Alistair is like the best drinking pal you'll ever have. Morrigan is the kind of lady that would use personal pronoun order if she ever spoke Japanese.
Kick you in your manhood?
Ogrin is the guy you won't get in your video games anymore.
I swear the things I could do to you.
A loving husband who also hits his wife for 190 damage.
The foul man.
Stan is the guy who hates you.
So far, I am not impressed.
In the most tsundere way possible.
KYUN what?
A death in service to the KYUN.
Liliana is the lady you choose if you want sparkles in every dialogue, who also ended up being the true hero of my journey.
Oh, she's done it!
Will is your kind librarian grandma, Shale is pure gold, What's His Name is an important member of our party, and Curry is a good boy. The dark atmosphere of the game is reinforced by having more evildoers than idle civilians literally everywhere. Take Orzammar. You have about 20 interactable NPCs in the whole grand capital of Dwarven civilization, 3 of which are traders, and you have no less than triple of that in freaking thieves only. Or the small village of less than 10 people that houses a cult of about 100 and manages to keep them fed with only 2 rice paddies and 4 chickens. The rest obviously goes to their pet dragons, or mages that should be a dying breed in this game. As a matter of fact, if you get Mage Tower support in your final battle, it's only 12 mages you get, but this one shack alone houses about 10 blood mages. This ratio mismatch made most fighting segments of the game draining and tedious. Dark atmosphere is nice and all, but at the same time, Dragon Age constantly reminds you that
It's a fairy tale fantasy land
with how beards exist in their own space-time continuum. In terms of content, Dragon Age feels like it's about 20% of Baldur's Gate 3.
People accept fantastic claims at face value.
One act at best with DLCs included.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
In terms of fighting, however, it's a fair match. But I have to say that aside from combat, the game feels brilliant even today, and it owes most of it to the writing and character design departments. Speaking of departments, why do mages get the worst outfits in the game?
What's it like?
to have all this power at my fingertips.
No, to always have to wear a skirt.
There's literally only 3 robe design patterns, and none of those made me feel like a badass mage. You just can't compare it to how, say, warriors get to look in the game. If they wanted mage players to feel like discount eunuchs, mission accomplished. But when it comes to combat, mages are anything but eunuchs. One enemy mage can your party, and the same can be said about your application of spells. Being an old game, Dragon Age allowed me to rediscover the joy of playing and not caring about achievements, for like first half of my playthrough. Dragon Age also teaches you that throwing a bone to any lady might be a solid gifting strategy.
Interesting.
It will also unveil your inner true tactical genius of running around Benny Hill style. There is, however, a mystery that eludes me, and that is, what is the difference between Winter's Breath and Winter's Breath? Now, if you excuse me, Morrigan needs me in her favorite game.
Left for Dead. Come, my love. Come.
Come.
heritages of my ancestors.
If you stare into
Huge chasm?
chasm does stare back.